We're talking actors and directors who put on the shows.
We're talking playwrights and designers who you'll want to know.
From the very first rehearsal to the final curtain call.
We might be off Broadway, but we're talking about it all.
'Cause we're two local gals
With global pals, it's everything, everything, everything theater.
with Benita
And Ellen. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Everything Theater Podcast, the podcast where we talk about...
Everything Theater. Hi, everybody. I'm Benita Zahn.
And I'm Ellen Cribbs.
And it's summer, and it's hot, and it's great. And it's, there's so much theater going on, Ellen.
There's so much. I know it's like winding down. Everybody's got their last like little pushes until the summer, unless you're a summer show, which a couple companies in the area do. So check out. There's some excellent theater this summer, both indoors and out.
Yep. And we are going to give a little shout out or a big shout out to one of the local companies that has a unique show upcoming.
Yes. So if you're a fan of squirrels, you know, who's not? Harbinger Theater is sponsoring us this episode, and they are doing the play The Squirrels by Robert Askins, directed by Patrick White. This is at Sand Lake Center for the Arts. Winter is on the way, and the squirrels are restless. Mistrust is growing between the rich gray squirrels and the outcast fox squirrels. When a wily outsider gets in the mix, he ignites an epic animal kingdom soap opera teeming with rebel armies, conspiracy, love, and family loyalties. No squirrel will go unharmed in this deliciously demented new comedy from Tony Award nominee Robert Askins. And that is running June 21st until the 30th. So by the time this airs, you got the second weekend to catch it, the 28th through the 30th. Don't miss it. It's going to be fun. Tickets are only $15. You can get them on Eventbrite.
And the Sand Lake Center for the Arts is a delightful spot to go see a show.
It is. It's wonderful. And everyone says, oh, it's so far, but it's never as far as people think it is. It really
and
is.
once you get there, you go, oh, that wasn't so bad.
Yeah.
And they usually have very good baked goods for intermission. I'm just saying, you know, get you walking in the morning and then have a little sweets. Speaking of eating, our guest tonight dishes up some delightful drama, comedy, and good eats as well. Jen Werner is with us. She's an actor with the Dinner Detective Murder Mystery Dinner Theater. Jen, hi.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So this is not, and look, we have some lovely murder mystery theaters programs that happen locally. But this is a whole different entree.
Yeah,
You're in 90 plus cities. Give us
yes.
a 411, Jen.
We're actually Albany is the newest of all the New York based shows. We started, I believe, in October of 2023, and we're over at the Hilton Garden Inn in Albany, across from Albany Med. And we do two public shows a month, and you can also sign up for private shows, which could be either at the hotel or off-site. We've done just last week, 2 weeks ago, I think it was, we did a show all the way up in Spring Lake, which is like 20 minutes north of Lake George, and it was at the YMCA Convention Center. They were doing a whole week long for preachers in training. And
okay,
they hired us to come and do the show for them.
Jen, you got to tell us, you're doing, it's true crime. So
Yes.
is this like SVU ripped from the headlines or ripped from your headline?
It's not that intense. It's a lot funnier. And we do 4 different shows. We rotate every 6 months. The script, and the script is very loosely based. It's mostly improv. So we basically have a script that we need to go by the story, but a lot of it depends on the audience because audience participation is huge in this. We have people that are signed up ahead of time to be suspects. So we'll have somebody will send in a picture of the person that in their party that's going to be a suspect, and they don't even know until they're like, "Well, why did we find your picture?" you know, it's just a lot of fun. It's a lot of interaction between the acts and the dinner. I mean, it's a four-course dinner, and people are um, encouraged to get up and talk to each other, get to know each other, ask. We have these pages, these interrogation sheets, and we have questions on them that we, are suggestions of things to ask people to try and figure it out because everybody in the room that first of all when they sign in and they put on a name tag with a pseudonym. It's got to be their it's not, it can't be their real name, it has to be their code name. And so people go around and learn about each other, and people come up with some hilarious code names. I mean, some that are probably a little too risque to talk about. One of my first shows, I did my first show December 2nd of 23. And the first show I was shadowing, but we had a whole table and their names were all the characters from Gilligan's Island. And even the men, we had men that were playing women. It was hysterical. And the thing is, we have two detectives that interrogate and will point out people with certain code names that they should mess with.
Ken, let me ask, when tonight's the night, you're all going and doing your act. Do you always know, is it predetermined who the killer will be, or does that change? If I see the show on Friday, you can do the same show, but will I see a different killer on Saturday?
Very possibly. The We usually do Saturday night shows when we do the public shows, and our cast list comes out the Monday before. So we have about 45 people in the cast, but there are only like 8 roles, so we rotate. Some people, there are several of us that are in every show. It's not everybody's always available, but we have certain core people who have become part of the show since Valentine's Day. I've been in every show.
Wow.
So,
Now, I have a
and
question. Oh, sorry.
No,
it's okay.
please. Yeah.
I have a question that coming from an experience of attending a murder mystery show, the only one I've attended, and ironically, the one I did this was in Chicago. I auditioned for the company, didn't get in. And then when you went, you were like assigned a character that you had to play. And so
Oh.
I stayed true to my character. And then they gave out awards at the end. And I won Best Actress. And I was like, well, apparently not because you didn't cast me. But
That's
that experience was very much like we had characters, but the actors were very much, you knew who the actors in the company were. And if I understand correctly, your company works very differently, where like you don't know who's an
no.
actor and who's an audience member. How does that dynamic work?
The only people that are actually part of the show are the host and the two detectives. Everybody else is just seated actors that are seated with other audience members. We have our name tags on, and only the host will say, the detectives will say, if you are wearing a name tag, you're a suspect. So everybody is a suspect. They say, don't trust anyone.
And how's it
So
like to be an actor mingled in with those people, having to improv the whole way and not tip your hat as to who you are to be believable as an audience member?
Basically, I just am myself for the most part. I answer questions to the best of my knowledge, but um, depending on the character I'm playing, I may throw some hints out because we want the audience, a good percentage of the audience, to have an idea of who the killer is.
Hmm.
Um, the killer is not revealed to the end, but you can tell by behaviors how things change. For some reason, no matter what table I'm sitting at, they accuse me of being the killer. Until all of a sudden, like I'm dying. But they always accuse me. The minute I sit down, you're the killer.
And how did this get started?
Honestly, I have no idea. The company runs out of the producers are in California, and they started this a long time ago. I mean, they're all over the country. I found out about it on the Facebook group, the 518 Capitol Theater,
Mhm.
and found out about the audition. And it was a Zoom audition, and we just did improvisation and games and stuff. And a week later, I got an email saying, "We loved your audition. We want you to come." And I've been doing it ever since. I love it. And
Do they pay
everybody,
you?
they pay us, yes. It's not huge, but we do get paid, and the seated actors get tips. We put out tip envelopes at each table, and we all have a blast. I mean, it's funny because you never know what's going to happen, and that's what's so great about it. I mean, people have responded in ways that you just aren't expecting. We'll say they'll be asked if they knew the person who was killed. No. Did you kill them? Maybe. Like, okay. So we go based off the audience.
How
And
are the bookings going in terms of, crowd size? Has Albany been good to the dinner detective murder?
yeah, last week's show was the smallest show I've seen since I've been doing it. They actually had the dining room closed off. Half of it was closed off. We had about 30. It was Memorial Day weekend.
Mm.
So, but usually we have anywhere up to 90 people. It's usually pretty packed.
That's a lot of suspects.
Yeah. A lot of suspects and a lot of space that's taken up. So we have to really, really project because
Yeah.
we don't use
Mm.
any kind of microphones. And we may be at one end and there are tables at the other end. So we really have to, and then, of course, they love to talk. And there's a bar. Um, and there's very often a very long line at the bar. So yeah, we encourage people to utilize the bar because it just becomes more fun when they do.
Now, last summer, I saw Benita in Sheer Madness, which you'll be back to. And if you haven't caught that, you need to see Benita in Sheer Madness.
Okay.
And there's a part of that show where the audience gets to ask questions to the investigator, and it really is a skill as an actor for that actor to and all the actors on stage to be still in control, to
Mhm.
not let the audience take over and side rail you into something that has nothing to do with the show, So, how with a group of 90 people, some of which maybe had a couple drinks, how do you guys refocus the narrative of the murder mystery?
Basically, we have them make sure that they're listening to either the host or the detectives because they're the ones who are driving the show. I mean, things happen throughout, but they are driving the story. So if we make sure that people are focused on that and listening to what's going on. Because if you miss what they're saying, then you're missing a lot of stuff. But again, a lot of it depends. We've done off-site shows. We did a show at Union College once, and it was a special student activities, set it up for kids who like to go to parties but don't want to drink. And these kids came and they had snacks and they had Shirley Temples that they were in a big pitcher, self-serve pitcher, and the kids were great. I mean, they really they played along, and I actually was the killer that night, and I had them all feeling sorry for me. It was so funny. It was so cute. And apparently we're doing another private show on the 24th of June over at Siena College for a group of developmentally disabled people and their caregivers.
Mm.
That's all I know about it so far. I don't know any details, but
Really, what a nice way to bring an organization's members together, to have them bond, to have them have fun and work together and also have some good eats.
yeah. Yeah, and the food at the hotel is it's pretty top quality. I mean, it's the same every time. So as actors, we get a little tired of eating it, but they have three options. There's a fish option, which is usually salmon. There's a chicken option, and then there's a vegetarian option, which is usually pasta.
Well, that's
And
lovely.
it comes with soup, salad, dinner roll, the entree with a vegetable and rice, and then dessert and coffee.
Dessert's the important part, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But do you have a background in theater per se, Jen, or
Yeah.
do you have a background in, hello, Benita. I said, I was out in the sun all day. But to be able to ad lib and, bounce off an audience and really be able to shift in the moment is its own talent.
Yes. And ever since high school, I've been doing improv. Um, I started taking all of my theater classes in high school and went on to major in theater in college. So I've been doing this for a very long time. And improv has always been something that's come very easy to me.
Which it's
I'm,
not for a lot of actors, right? I know a lot of people are terrified of improvisation. So what's
uh,
your advice as a old hat at improv? What do you think is the most important thing to keep in mind?
Stay true to your character, but be ready for anything.
Yeah.
Hmm.
When we did Sheer Madness, the fellow who created it, Bruce Jordan, directed it. It was the 25th anniversary, and he would repeatedly remind us, play the murder, play the murder,
Yep,
because that's the central character.
yeah.
And then we're the players around that. And if you play the murder, that's the truth of what is happening in that 90 or 120 minutes or more.
Right. Well, we have four acts actually,
Whew, well, you
and
gotta eat.
well, they have to eat, but also between acts, they take the clues that they found during each act, and we have laminated. Each clue is laminated. They put it up on the wall, and they have QR codes, and you can take a picture, and it'll give you all the clues.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, we put them up in four different locations on the walls. So during the night, people can go up and look at the clues and get develop their theories. Um, and the one thing that the detectives always say that when we have a murder, we turn it into a prize winning competition. And at the end of the night, before the murder is revealed, we collect all of the the papers that people have written down, and they write down who they think it was and why, and what the reason, what what the whole story was. And we look at them, and the host will come back and read some of the funny ones. And but there's usually a winner, somebody who gets like all the details, and they get a prize. They get a little shot glass that says Dinner Detective on it. They also get um basically a gift card to use at another show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Now, kind of
And
going. Oh yeah.
if the other thing is that we have a bunch of, at the end, people are always taking pictures with us. They all want to take pictures with the cast. But if you leave on each table, there's a table number and there's a QR code, and you can use that to write a review. And at the end of the night, if you show the host that you've written a review, you get a shot glass.
Oh,
Make a little collection, come often enough, put it up on the shelf. You never
Yep,
know.
exactly. And
now
they have on the website, they have all kinds of Dinner Detective merch, anything from socks to t-shirts to mugs, you name it, they have it.
Now, with an audience member, we see this in theater all the time, that there are people who are all for audience participation and those who say, don't come anywhere near me. I want to sit and observe. I don't want to be part of. So do you find that that happens in your shows too, where some people are gung-ho and other people are very reserved and pull back and don't want to be involved? Or does the nature of the event kind of get everybody involved?
The nature of the event gets everybody involved. I mean, we've had some people that we had one night where somebody just didn't want to be there, but for the most part, the host will say at the beginning, this is an audience interactive thing. If you think you're gonna get out of being part of it, think again, because everybody is a suspect and everybody is involved.
And I
And
would imagine if somebody's showing up, they know what they're walking into. And if not, then they're the killjoy in the group. And somebody's
exactly,
gonna, "Ooh, come on, Buster. We said we were all gonna go and play. So
yep.
if you don't bring your A game, at least bring your B game and have a little
I
fun,
mean,
lighten up."
everybody knows what they're getting themselves into. Not everybody knows that they may be actually a suspect. That's kept hush hush.
Now,
But
Jen, do you run through the summer?
we go year long, all year round. We do at least two shows a month, two public shows a month, every month. So
So
I
got to
can.
jump on the website, and that's Dinner Detective
It's
Murder Mystery. Right. Dinner
the
Detective Murder Mystery
it's
Theater.
the actual website address is thedinerdetective.com/Albany.
There you go. Take a look, see. Know that you can order pretty much what your taste is, fish, fowl, or vegetarian, and bring your laughter with you. What are you focusing on? What's the thrust of your show right now?
Meaning what? I'm not sure what
So
you
if
mean.
there, is where does it take place? Always in a restaurant? What's the setting? You know,
It's always today. We're in the day. We're in a hotel. I mean, it's very real.
It's not themed like I used to
No,
do yearly ones with my
yeah,
friends and be like, the
no,
Old West, the 80s.
no. There are no themes. It's present day. Nobody's in costume. We all wear our own clothes.
and go have a blast. And speaking of people in costumes, Ellen, give us one more hit on squirrels because they are in costume. In fact, they've been I think they've been seen around the capital region shooting promo pictures and in their with their
Yes, if you were at Crossgates Mall, you might have seen some
yeah.
squirrels looking for some nuts there. Um,
Actually, the choreographer for Squirrels is in Dinner Detective.
oh, lovely.
Yeah, Aaliyah. Yeah,
Oh, very nice.
she's been doing it for longer than I have, actually. She's wonderful.
Well, yeah, check out The Squirrels by Robert Askins. Again, it's directed by Patrick White. It's a Harbinger production at the Sand Lake Center for the Arts. I've heard that this show has everything. It's going to make you laugh. It's going to make you cry. It's going to make you think. It can get a little deep for some squirrels, I heard.
Mm.
But I'm very excited to check it out. It runs till June 30th. There's also is there talkbacks? Oh, I don't have in my notes here when the talkbacks are. I believe the talkbacks are Friday. I will correct that if that's wrong. But $15, that's it. It's one of the cheapest tickets in town. You can get it at Eventbrite. Go support them. They always do great work, and they're the cutest dang squirrels you've ever seen.
I think they have a nut tasting too.
Yes, they do.
I'm looking
nuts for
forward to
this.
seeing. I look forward to seeing this.
And
Definitely.
Jen Werner, we're all gonna look forward to spending some time at the Dinner Detective Murder Mystery Theater. And it is the Dinner Detective.
.com/Albany.
There you go. Go
Perfect.
have fun, get a crowd. Show
Yeah.
up,
Yep.
figure out who the murderer is. But most importantly, have fun and laugh.
Yes.
And then definitely cheer and tip Jen.
Yeah, of course. But you will laugh. You definitely will be laughing because it's always, you never know what's going to happen.
That's great. Thank you so much for spending time with us
Oh,
tonight.
thank you. I appreciate it. It's a pleasure.
And for all
All
our
right.
listeners out there, thank you so much. We'll catch you next time. I'm Ellen Cribbs.
And I'm Benita Zahn. Have fun.
Thank you so much for listening to the Everything Theater podcast. Special thanks goes out to Alice Grinling for our photography and Justin Friello for composing our amazing theme song. Please remember to subscribe to our podcast and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you want to share your thoughts or what's going on in your theater community, you can reach out to us on social media or through our email at everythingtheaterpodcast@gmail.com. Till next time, it's everything, everything, everything.